Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the previous lecture, we were doing narrations changing direct speech into indirect speech. Today, we will continue with the direct and indirect speech, and today we will do a certain type of sentence for direct and indirect speech, that is, imperative sentences. So, today we are going to discuss how to change an imperative sentence in a direct speech into an indirect speech. First of all, let's see what are imperative sentences. The definition is given: a sentence that expresses an advice, a request, a command, or a suggestion is called an imperative sentence. A sentence that expresses an advice, जिस sentence में advice हो, request हो, command हो, or suggestion, that is called imperative sentence. For example, work hard is an imperative sentence because it is an advice. Please help me is an imperative sentence because it is a request. Polish my shoes is an imperative sentence because it is an order or it is a command. So whenever you change a direct speech which is given in the imperative sentence into indirect speech, you have to judge, you have to see whether it is an advice, it is a request, or it is a command, and you will change it accordingly. Now see with example. He said to me, please guide me to the market. This sentence shows that there is a request. He said to me, please guide me to the market. In this sentence, it is obvious that it is a request. So you will write, instead of said to, you will replace the said to with requested. He requested me. Do not write requested to me. Write requested me. And similarly, it is this is the reporting speech I told you in the previous lesson. This is the reported speech, and you can see the reporting speech is in the past tense. Said is the past form, so it means this is in the past tense. Therefore, you will write requested. Had it been he says to me, you would in that case write he requests me. He requests me, right? But since this is said past, so this will also be past. He requested me. And you will not use that in this case because this is an imperative sentence. In the previous simple sentences, we remove the inverted commas and replace them with that. In the previously we did the simple sentences, the declarative sentences. So in those cases we replace the inverted commas with that. Here in imperative case we will replace the inverted commas with to guide him to the market. And we will use the first form after to because we are bound to use first form after to. Although the reporting speech was in the past tense, but we cannot use the past tense here because guide is preceded by to. In all indirect speech of imperative sentences, indirect speech of imperative sentences, we use to, so we are bound to use first form after to. Then see the second sentence. Father said to his. This is the case of a request. See the second sentence. Father said to his son, never trust anyone blindly. In this case, there is an element of advice, so this is an imperative sentence. So instead of writing said to, when you change it into indirect speech, you will say father advised his son. Father advised his son. And since there is a prohibition, मना किया गया किसी बात से, so whenever there is a prohibition, जब मना किया जाएगा किसी बात से, you will replace the inverted commas with not to. Instead of writing to, you will write not to. मना कर रहे हैं ना किसी बात से, there is a prohibition. So father advised his son not to trust anyone blindly. Again, we are using the first form trust. Although the reporting speech was in the past tense, but we have not changed it in the past tense because it is preceded by to, and after to we always use first form of the verb. The third sentence is, so this is the case of an advice. First was the case of a request. This is the case of an advice. Both are imperative, as I told you. And now see the third case. Teacher says to the students, get out of the class immediately. This is a command or this is an order. So as I told you previously, whenever there is an advice, request, or a command, such sentences are called imperative sentences, and we change them into into indirect speech. Accordingly, teacher says to the students. The thing to be noted here is that here it is says to. It means this is in the present tense. So you will replace it with orders, not ordered. Had it been teacher said to the student, in that case you would have written the teacher ordered the student. But since it is present tense, says to the student, so you will write the teacher orders the students get out of the class immediately. This is a command. So teacher orders the students to get out of the class. Again we will use the first form because it is preceded by to. In all indirect speech of imperative sentences we use to, so we use first form of the verb to get out of the class immediately. Rest of the rules remain the same, like today will change into that day, tomorrow will change into the coming day, and so on. Now will change into then. Those rules will remain the same, and the pronouns will change accordingly, as I told you in the previous lessons. Fourth example is he says to his mother. Again you can see this is the present tense. Please ask father to give me money. He requests. In this case there's please, the word please is used, so it means this is a request. So you will write that he requests his mother. Do not write requests to his mother. Had it been said you would have written requested his mother, but here it is the present tense, so you will write that he requests his mother to ask father to give him money. So again you can see the inverted commas are replaced by the word to. So these are the imperative sentences. This is how to change the imperative sentences. I hope you have understood. That's it for now.